first of all, I saw you were in LA yesterday doing Madden stuff, and now you're back home. You're a busy man. Did you get any sleep?
No. No, I basically I'm like running on fumes right now. But like, yeah, it's because I like to I like always kind of have to keep moving, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I'm the same way, man.
yeah.
So I actually wanted to talk a little bit about that because you were on staff, like on football staff for college, right?
Yeah.
So now that you've been playing fighting games, are there any like similarities between how you would approach football at like a real life sport and how you've been approaching fighting games at all?
So I think like my competitive sort of like nature makes me want to have something to grind all the time. So like I played WoW for a long time. I was always like trying to PvP and like do Gladiator and I like get Gladiator every season whenever I was doing PvP and stuff like that, right? Like I always had like a grind to just constantly do. And I think the good thing about fighting games, the cool thing about like Street Fighter specifically, because that's really what I play. But you can feel like this natural feeling of development, like you're getting this natural feeling of progression as time goes on. Like, oh, I did this thing better, or like I can reliably like cancel something now that I couldn't cancel like 2 weeks ago, or you kept messing something up, or anything like that. So like I can see it. It's very tangible, and that tangible progression is like really cool.
Hell yeah. And I saw you were playing on leverless, right? You're learning the hitbox,
Yeah.
or not hitbox, but the leverless
Yeah, I mean
controller.
it's the snack. This one technically is the snack box that somebody just they were like running the booth and they gave me one, which was sick. They're like, cool, okay, and because I wanted to get something like this because I was gonna get the Razer Kitsune whenever that comes out. So having this in the meantime to kind of like learn it, and then whenever the Kitsune gets in here, I'll switch to that. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's been good because I was always jumping like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I love because so I was using this controller. So here's one controller. Here's I was using this one for a while. I was using this one for a while.
Oh, nice.
No, I haven't used that one. I use this one though.
Oh, cool.
Which is actually this is also an N64 controller, but I did use this one for a while, and this one's really good. Because I would just treat it like the 6 buttons.
Yeah.
But the problem with this was, what was the problem with this one? This one had something wrong with. Oh, this would click, so I would accidentally like heavy kick randomly.
Oh.
So if I use this, so then I started using this, and then I wanted to have an extra input, but this shared an input with another button. There was something weird. There's something wrong with the input, so I had to do something weird, and then that's whenever I switched to this, and then this was better.
Hell yeah.
So.
And now you're a leverless player. You're right there with everybody.
Yeah.
That's so like the popular. That's the popular stuff nowadays.
Yeah. And my big problem was I was always trying to like if I ever like try to go like left and right, I would just always jump for some reason. So that's why I wanted to switch.
Yeah. And how's the switch been going? Like, have you run into any like big issues at all or not?
The first day was like really rough, but I'm at the point now where like okay, like my muscle memory because I've been playing. I say a lot. I've been playing a lot for me, given like how busy I am with everything. So it's been kind of cool to go through that progression. It's like okay, like every day I'm getting like noticeably better.
Hell yeah. And before we even get to Evo, I wanted to talk about the AT&T Cup, the Annihilator Cup that you were a part of. So was that like your first? I mean, I don't think it was your first ever, but like was that like your first like fighting game tournament that you like prepared for and worked towards?
Yeah. And I mean, I basically like had a few days to get ready, but I had been playing Street Fighter since it came out. I always loved Street Fighter. Like I always thought Street Fighter was cool, but I mean, I played like every other kid. I was just like spamming like button mashing and stuff. I was like everybody does that when they're kids.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. So, but then I never really like continued to like play it and like get better and grind it. And that was like Street Fighter 2. That was like Super Nintendo. And then like right before Street Fighter 6 came out, I played on the Nintendo Switch. There was like the 30th anniversary edition or whatever. So like I was like playing like Third Strike and stuff on that a little bit. But that's kind of like all my Street Fighter experience right before 6 came out. So
yeah. So what was like your training regiment, as it were, for the AT&T Cup? Did you have anything specific that you were practicing, or were you just trying to play and figure stuff out?
I was just kind of trying to play, and Lakari came over for like an hour, and he just like taught me about like throw loops and helped me with like some drive rush stuff and just like how to initiate.
Mm-hmm.
And like like having like a proper like initiation helped a lot. Like different ways to initiate, or like getting in the corner, or trying to get out of the corner, which I'm still kind of bad at. But stuff like that. That was like the main stuff. Like Lakari helped me for like an hour, and it made like a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean, you got what, like third?
Yeah.
Dude,
I got third.
That's
so
awesome.
And I only lost to Luke's, which I'm terrible against. I don't know. There's some champions, like my brain just like, it's the way their body, like their animations move. Like I can't time anything. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So
no, it's hard, man. It's hard, especially with somebody like Luke, right? Because he's new to Street Fighter in general. Like sometimes you just have to look at a character enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, like, how did it feel while you were going through the bracket? Like, were your nerves just like getting out of control, or like since you've played football and you were into sports, like were you able to like keep everything super chill? Like, what was that like?
It wasn't too. As far as nerves go, I wasn't really like nervous or anything, but like in that last match that I played, I definitely got like really annoyed because I'm so because I would screw up the motion input for like Hadoukens, and like that's like like literally just Jake's the not Jake. Well, it was Jake, but Luke. I want to say Luke. I thought Jake, but Jake was like sandblast spamming me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just like I can like EX Hadouken this, right? But then Jack was spamming Jake, and I had Jake in my head. But he kept sandblast spamming, so I'm like, okay, well I got EX Hadouken this, and then I got like tilted because I kept screwing up the input, and I kept doing like I would like not let go of like I wouldn't like let go of down before I went like hit forward, so it was like hitting like diagonal. So I would do like the down heavy instead of doing like an EX Hadouken. Like it would register as a down heavy. Yeah. So which is like just like I was like getting so tilted like at myself. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me! Like I keep doing this. But like as far as like actually like nervousness, no. But like that was like the thing that like that was the only thing that actually tilted me, I think.
Gotcha. It happens to all of us, man. We've all been there, and like just being completely tilted for like shit that we just can't do at the moment. So how did it feel getting third? Like were you like was that expected? Were you expecting to make it that far? Like
like I wasn't expecting to make it third necessarily, or like top three. I was expecting to do better than some people because I had been playing, but it was funny because a bunch of people in that tournament are FPS players, and I'm not an FPS player. So like we kept the first two games that we played were like all FPS games. So it's like okay, and I'm like I'm terrible at Apex, horrible at Apex. I don't even remember what the second game we played was. I'm not. I just can't remember. So like I'm not good at FPS games. So I was like okay, finally like this is something that like I'm I've played this a little bit and I'm on the same playing field as a lot of other people, if not a little bit more because some people had never played Street Fighter. So like I was happy about that, and then really the only people that were ahead of me were like Lyric, who's played a fair amount and he's good. He was like gold. Everybody who beat me was higher elo, and Jake had been playing since like last year, I think. So since Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually good.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask your opinion on one thing. A little bit of controversy came out, and it was Emeru with how she was playing Honda. I wanted to get your take, and then I want to give you like the FGC's take on like that style of play. Like, what did you think? Like, did you have anything against how she was playing?
Absolutely, I did. No, I know it's so that was funny because like I get why people are annoyed about like the modern Honda spam, and I actually agree with it. But there was like this random loser, like he tweeted out this video of Emeru who did not place well at all. It was like Emeru and then one of the other girls, I can't remember who it was. But it was very like clear, like there's like they're obviously like picking on the girls here, and there was other people playing modern Honda and spamming and doing well with it. So it's like you obviously had an agenda here. And then they tweeted, and Damascus saw it. I think they tweeted at Damascus, or Damascus saw it. And Damascus is like, yeah, like this bullshit, whatever. But what happens was it I think Damascus got baited into like basically the troll stuff. And because what Damascus was saying was like, yeah, like that thing, like it's totally makes sense. Like it's right. Like people think that's annoying and it's dumb. But the problem is it got flipped into something that it's not, on top of like, well, there's like tons of people now who like never really watched Street Fighter or cared for it. And then they watch that tournament and they're like, dude, this is actually hype. Like watching like fighting games is super hype because it's very easy to understand on the base level of like, guy hits other guy, health bar goes down. But then on the more like advanced level where you start understanding like you start understanding like frames and plus minus, and you start understanding all this other stuff for spacing, like it's really, really cool to like watch like the meta stuff. So yeah, I think Damascus just got like baited into it, because I was like, I said something about it too, and he like deleted his tweet and he was like, yeah, I like, you're actually right, like I'm sorry, I actually totally like misunderstood the like what was happening here, because it was like he saw what he saw, which was what I think most people agree with. Yeah. But also for like a tournament like this, like people are just gonna do just gonna play like rats, because like it's kind of funny. And I realized that at first, because like, no, I'm gonna try hard. Oh, it's Fortnite. Fortnite was the second game. I'm gonna try hard, like as far as like I'm gonna try and play the game the right way. And then I realized it's way more entertaining to be really bad and do rat stuff and see if you can get a win. So it's like it's just a different mentality of people that are actually like playing the game. So yeah, that's why Emmy, who was like, of course she was gonna rat it because it was like funny. Like I did the same thing for Fortnite. I didn't do it for Apex and I played horribly, right? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna rat for Fortnite, and I also played horribly, so it really didn't make a difference for me. But yeah, so that's what it is, because it's like the Annihilator Cup is like, it's like they get a bunch of people from like all different parts of the website around, so it's like that's like the whole point. It's like supposed to be like a content tournament. Yeah, so it makes sense. But
yeah, because normally like the FGC take for stuff like that is it's a competition. You do whatever you can to win, right? Like I was trying to specifically look for stuff where one of the tournaments that now turned into Combo Breaker used to be called UFGT, and they used to have a random Mugen tournament where like, and it was auction, like a silent auction Mugen tournament. And it was literally like you just picked a random character, and you know, like Mugen is like an open source fighting game engine where like anybody can add whatever they want. And like there is a video out there of Justin Wong figuring out an infinite and just doing the infinite and like winning, right?
Really?
So, like, yeah. So like if you like the fighting game community, it's like it's a competition. There's stuff on, like there's shit on the line. You got to win, right? So,
right.
And it's up to the other person then to figure out like how to deal. So that's at least like from the fighting game player perspective, like that's how.
I like the competitive perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny, like seeing the two views of it.
Yeah, that's funny.